Welcome to another segment of KCLO's What to Expect When video series. Our guest experts today are Professor Deirdre Bowen, who's the director of the SU Family Law Center, and Teresa Nevesorlova. Did I get it right? Perfect. Who is also the volunteer manager at that program. In this segment, we're going to be talking about what does the SU Family Law Center offer. Professor Bowen?
Thanks, Rick. To start out with, I'm going to just give you a quick overview, and then Teresa and I will engage in conversation to let you know what we're up to. So the Family Law Center is housed in the Seattle University School of Law. It's a completely virtual program, meaning everything that we do does not require you to come into an office and meet in person. We can do everything over email, text, or Zoom or over a phone call. And we are very flexible in terms of the days and times that we are available because we are supported by law students. And we have two large services that we offer. So while we're a center, we actually have two clinics. And one of those clinics is called the Domestic Violence Protection Order Petition Clinic. And the other service we provide is the clinic that's called the Forms Lab, which focuses on things like the dissolution or custody and parenting plans and other things associated with children. So given like that's our big picture, we're going to dive in a little bit about what the services are for those two different clinics. And so I'm going to start out by saying, Teresa, what would you, if asked, describe as our services in the DVPO, otherwise known as the Domestic Violence Protection Order Petition Clinic?
Thank you, Professor Bowen. So our DVPO clinic specializes on helping clients and making the justice system more accessible. As you mentioned, all of our interns are law students, and they are working on volunteer basis to make sure that we can accommodate availability of our clients, which includes evenings and weekends. Because of this, we are very flexible with scheduling. We have a very quick turnaround. Once clients reach out to us, we make sure to support them through every step of working on the paperwork that is required for the domestic violence protection orders. What we also offer is a review of the paperwork by a licensed attorney. So what it means is that our legal interns are working directly with the clients over the phone or an email. And then after they fill out the paperwork, it is also reviewed by an attorney before it's sent out to the client. What I
So
want to emphasize.
Oh, sorry, Teresa. I just was going to ask you a few questions because it's a
Absolutely.
lot of information that you've provided. So one of the things that I think clients might be concerned about, particularly when it relates to services involving domestic violence, is how do we ensure confidentiality and
So
privacy?
we ensure confidentiality by having trained legal interns that are within the Seattle University School of Law. They know all the rules of professional responsibility. And what we also do is we ask people that reach out to us to leave a voicemail first, so we know what the case entails and we can ensure that we are in a safe environment, that no one will overhear what we're talking about, and all of our phone calls are secured.
Oh, and you also, another thing that you mentioned is that we provide flexible scheduling in terms of nights and weekends, and that you said, we can do this technologically over the phone or email. So, Teresa, you mentioned that we have the option of interacting with our clients through technology, which can include Zoom, phone call, email. Even given that, what do we offer in terms of language services for people for whom English is not their preferred language or first language?
We have interns that are bilingual, and currently we can offer interpreting services for clients that speak Spanish, Czech, Farsi, Hindi, and Urdu.
Fantastic. And then another thing that you included in the overarching list included the services of helping with legal forms, and that's sort of our main focus. But can you sort of clarify what helping with legal forms means in terms of, is it legal advice or not?
It is not legal advice to help with legal forms, and that is where we limit our services. So we strictly only help with the forms. We cannot provide legal advice or legal representation. Our legal interns, when they are communicating with the client, they cannot answer any legal questions over the phone. They can, however, write the questions down, and because we do have attorneys working for the Family Law Center, the attorney can answer their legal questions, but we cannot do legal representation.
Okay, so again, yeah, you've brought up this other word of legal representation. So we're not giving legal advice, but you mentioned that there are attorneys involved, so they can give advice but not representation. Can you just clarify what that means?
What it means is that we don't become the client's attorney. No one at the center will be their attorney. We only help with filling out the paperwork, and then the clients will have to make sure that they file the paperwork, and then they attend the hearing, which will be without our assistance because we are only helping with the forms.
Okay, so the other thing that I think that we wanted to make sure people are aware is, what is the cost of our services?
All our services are free of charge. We make sure that we are creating a low barrier and effective support. Um, so they don't have to expect any cost on our end, but with some of the things that people come to us with, there are associated filing fees, which is out of our hands.
And so our focus really, because all our services are free, is to try to prioritize always helping people who are low income with limited resources. And again, we do try to prioritize people who are experiencing domestic violence, even if it's the associated family law services. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so just to wrap up on one final thing, the other thing that we know from doing this work is that domestic violence is a highly traumatizing experience. People reach out to us when they are in crisis. What can they expect in terms of interacting with us and other services that we might be able to offer them?
So all our interns go through a training, so we can ensure that we are providing empathetic support. We always acknowledge that, like you said, it is a very traumatic experience to go through this, and all our interns will make sure to support the clients through every step up until it's time to file. It is always up to the client whether they decide to file. There will be no pressure on our end. We are strictly there to support them through the process.
And all of our volunteers are receiving training on how to engage in a trauma-informed way with the clients.
Yes,
And we also have what's called wraparound services. So if people are finding that they need access to food or transportation or temporary shelter, we have limited funds to provide that on a strictly emergency basis. Okay, so to wrap up, to make sure that we're clear on what the big picture is, the Family Law Center has two clinics, and one of them specifically focuses on helping people file domestic violence protection orders. And then the second clinic is the Forms Lab, where we're specifically working to help people with their dissolution or divorce paperwork, or to assist with child custody matters that might involve figuring out parenting parentage, meaning who are the two legal parents, figuring out a parenting plan so that custody can clearly be established, and finally, to also assist with guardianship. Does that sound like I've summarized things correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Couple
Yes,
of
it does.
follow-up questions. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, by the way. So it's not unusual that if I'm involved in a divorce case or a parenting plan case, that there is also a DB situation going on as well. Is it okay for me as a client to reach out and hope for services from both of those clinics?
Absolutely. And thank you for asking that, Rick, because that's actually our number one priority and why the Family Law Center came into existence is a recognition that when someone engages with the legal system for a domestic violence issue, it doesn't end there. And most often there are custody and perhaps relationship ending processes that need to occur. And we want to make sure we're available to do all of those services.
Mhm.
Well, great. I think that answers all the questions we were talking about. Thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate you being our guest experts on our What to Expect When series.
Our pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you, Rick.